was right on time. I said 5 minutes. I think that was 5 minutes. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here in support of Clerk Parikh. We are so proud of him. Let's give him another round of applause. I'd like to thank Judge Jody Lubers for hosting us. This is her courtroom. She's not really So just a few intro remarks before I introduce the real MC of this program. Just to say, I'm so honored to be here and to speak. And actually, Pavan asked me to speak because my husband, Eric Kearney, is out of town and couldn't be here. And so, I've known Pavan for more than a decade, and I am just so proud of the work that he's done and the work that he continues to do. Before he was Clerk of Courts and now as Clerk of Courts. So this is really an honor for me to be here and just super exciting and so just thrilling to see so many people here in support of Pavan because he really, really deserves it. So Eric gave me a really long remark, but I'm, don't worry. I know there's a time limit and be mindful of everybody's time. I'm just going to read an excerpt from Eric's remarks, okay? Now don't tell him I didn't read it all right? So this is just going to be a short excerpt. Okay, Eric says, during my tenure at the Ohio Senate, including as minority leader, Pavan was a trusted advisor to me and all of our members and staff. Pavan is an excellent attorney, as I believe our Clerk of Court should be. While relatively young, when appointed as our chief legal counsel at the Ohio Senate, he went head to head with some of the toughest legislators of both parties and worked on some of the most difficult legislation, including criminal justice reform, with tenacity and determination. Beyond the excellent daily work he did for us, including managing our ethics program, he also routinely went above and beyond. And speaking of above and beyond, I'm going to say more about that in a minute, okay? Hold that thought. We worked closely together in writing and publishing a law review article on Ohio's election laws and in writing briefs for state and federal legislation, including the U.S. Supreme Court. Pavan also managed our outside counsel in challenging the 2011 redistricting at the Ohio Supreme Court. Okay, we're not going to revisit that, right? Pavan possesses the intellectual might to serve as our Clerk of Courts and to use his skills to bring officials together from across the county and the Justice Center to achieve progress. In his campaigns, I saw him build a diverse coalition of supporters from neighborhoods around the county who resonated with his vision for justice reform. He went to corners of the county where Democrats rarely go and developed relationships by being present everywhere in our community. Voters appreciated that he was really listening to their concerns, whether he was attending their church service, meeting them at a festival, or talking to them walking down the street. And that's what Pavan does. You see him everywhere talking to everybody. People love that. That's why we all love Pavan. Pavan has shown that he is a true leader in Cincinnati. Not only has he won many awards as a young business leader, but he goes out of his way to serve our community. His years teaching at Xavier University and UC's College of Law allow him to bring resources to the clerk's office to develop partnerships with our leading academic institutions. His pro bono work representing George Floyd protesters shows his commitment to justice for all. And his service on boards in the local legal community demonstrates his commitment to the law and integrating legal services into our region. There is no better person to be our Clerk of Courts, and I am proud of the reform that he is bringing to build a more modern and progressive office. Congratulations to Pavan, and congratulations to all of us, the people of Hamilton County, for electing such a strong leader in the field of justice. Okay, so just to get the last word in, I have to make one comment about the above and beyond. When I first met Pavan, he was preparing to make that 107-mile walk with Eric from Cincinnati to Columbus. And I'm thinking, who are these crazy people who do this? But they did it 107 miles. And the point was to bring attention to childhood poverty, to childhood obesity, and other childhood health issues. That shows Pavan's commitment. I thought no one else would do this. But Pavan, also Dan Maxwell, I don't know if Dan is here, but they were real troopers. And so I just want to applaud Pavan. I am so proud of him. Let's give him another round of applause. All right, and now I would like to introduce the MC for today. It is none other than the Honorable Fanon Phenomenon Rucker.
Vice Mayor, it is always an exciting time when the Vice Mayor is in the House, because you know she's going to encourage folks and say some kind and good words that are going to really put perspective on what it is that we're here to do. Well, my name is Fanon Rucker, and I am so excited to be here standing in front of everyone offering my services as MC. I found out last week when I got an email that I was the MC. But truly, it is exciting. Today's occasion is exciting. And it's most exciting because it is extremely difficult to find anybody in the courthouse after 2 o'clock on Friday. So I'm looking around the room, and I can say that because you all I'll be judged. Anyway, all right. So seriously, it is truly my honor to be in this room with so many who are essential to providing that measure of justice that all citizens expect and that we all acknowledge is actually what they deserve. All of us who claim the mantle of public servant are extremely important. And I sincerely hope that we all recognize the common thread that we all share, that we all cling to, regardless of our political affiliation. The common thread that regardless of our gender, regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of the path that it took us to get to our positions, the common thread that we all share is our duty, more aptly stated, our desire to serve. And I believe, as demonstrated here in this room today, should be a unifying principle for all of us. Now, I've often been asked, what is the clerk? What does the clerk's office do? Why is it important? And so I went to the website to get an idea of a good answer to give when people ask, why does the clerk office matter? On the website, it says the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts is the official record keeper and agent of Hamilton County's justice system. Headed by Hamilton County Clerk of Courts, the office helps provide the following services. Provide public access to the records of the court in Hamilton County. Receive, distribute, and preserve official documents of the Court of Common Pleas, municipal court, as well as other courts that have appellate jurisdiction at the county level. Execute personnel responsibilities, such as arrest, transportation of prisoners, subpoenas, evictions, and courtroom security in municipal court. The clerk's office issues certificates of title for automobiles and boats. The clerk's office processes traffic tickets, and it also processes passport applications. That's the function, the primary functions of what I would say is probably the most important office that we have in our court system. As the immediate past Hamilton County Clerk of Courts for 10 days, in 2021 and 2022, I think we can all agree that the gears of our system are completely contingent upon the smooth functioning of the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts. And I offer, personally, my heartfelt gratitude and overwhelming appreciation to Pavan Parikh for accepting the mantle for this truly essential position. Now on to the rest of the program. As you look across the room, you will notice that we are joined by many community leaders and elected officials from around the region. Lately, I've been called upon at many functions to recognize those who have assumed leadership in our community. And I was also asked to do that today. However, I'm going to read what it says. While we want to recognize all of you and your service in our community, in the interest of time, I have been asked for all of our elected officials to be stand and be recognized together. So at this time, and this is how I'll do it. If you are a judge on the Court of Appeals of Hamilton County, would you please stand up? If you are a judge in the Hamilton County Court of Common Pleas, general or specific division, would you please stand? If you are a judge in the Hamilton County Court, or Municipal Court, please stand. If you are the mayor of Cincinnati, would you please stand? If you are the Hamilton County prosecutor, would you please stand? Before I get in trouble with everyone else who is an elected official in the city of Cincinnati or in Hamilton County, would you please stand and be recognized? And I do want to apologize, there was a position I missed. I see U.S. Congressman Greg Lansman here in the House. At this time, I would ask for the Honorable Scott Crowley, Hamilton County Recorder, to come forward, and former United States Marine Corps Captain and Colonel, Hamilton County Recorder, Scott Crowley, will now lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
So thank you, Judge, and Pavan, congratulations to you and your family. Thank you so much. I've known Pavan for years, and from the moment I met him, there was this instantaneous Pavan friendship. It wasn't just because of our military service, but also because we had the drive, determination, and hope that one day we would be called upon the people to serve local office. And Pavan, that day is here. The people have spoken. Congratulations to you and your family. It's an honor to serve alongside you as county-wide elected officials. Everybody, please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, we would like to welcome the Chief Priest of the Hindu Temple of Greater Cincinnati, Acharya, Kailash, Sharma. One opening prayer. Thank you.
Acharya Kailash Sharma. I request everyone please join for the prayers. I will be reciting, praying the Divine Lord. The Sanskrit prayers, the prayers from the Vedas, the holiest book, and it will be the original prayers and will be translated in English later. So please join me. Om Swasti na Indro Vridhashravah Swasti na Pukha Vishwavedah Swasti nastaraksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Sarve सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमतो ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्युषावहै ॐ द्यौ शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिर्वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवा शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ. We meditate on the glory of that being who has produced this universe may enlighten our minds. May all be prosperous and happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is spiritually uplifting, and may no one suffer. The whole world is family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. O God, lead us from unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. Protect us together, nourish us together. May we work conjointly with the great energy. May our study, knowledge be vigorous and effective. May we not hate anyone. Om, let there be peace in me, let there peace be in my environment, and let there be peace in the forces that act on me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.
Now, each of the 4 presiding judges at the Hamilton County Clerk Court serves has graciously agreed to join us today to share their thoughts on the partnership between the court and the clerk. We have the Honorable Candace, Crouse, presiding judge of the First District Court of Appeals. We have the Honorable Wagner, presiding judge of the Court of Common Pleas. We have the Honorable Amy Searcy, presiding judge, Court of Domestic Relations. And we have the Honorable Kirk Kissinger, presiding judge of the Hamilton County Municipal Court. Judge.
Hopefully, this works. Great. Hi, Pavan.
Well, Pavan, congratulations. I am so honored that you invited me to speak at your investiture today. And I'm so incredibly happy and elated that you were elected as the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts. Although Pavan and I have met briefly a few times over the years, we really got to know each other during the campaign trail while we were both on the campaign trail in 2018. And I have to say, I liked him immediately. Pavan is such a smart, hardworking, funny person, but what really was something that affected me with him is immediately you just feel at ease when you're around him. He's definitely been ambitious in his career, but the one thing that has always been at the top of his priorities is his family, who are here today, and his beautiful wife and children, who I've gotten to know also over the years. Pavan is really I want to talk about him as a person because, you know, we heard about all of the amazing stuff that he's done in his career, and he's an accomplished attorney. But really what he is he's a genuine human being. And what I mean by that is that even though he's been involved in politics, he's not a typical politician. And what I mean by that is that absolutely nothing about Pavan is fake. He means what he says, and he says what he means, and he is not going to lie in order to bring people down or to raise himself up. And I think that we saw that, how he conducted himself during this last political campaign. And he really, I thought, ran a very honorable campaign, rose above any kind of shots that were taken at him, and it paid off. You know, nice guys actually can win, and he did, and he's here, and he's our clerk of courts, and we're celebrating him. So I know that the clerk of courts is in good hands with Pavan. I know that my court, the First District Court of Appeals, and all of the courts in Hamilton County now, not now, but we have a partner that is working hard not only to serve the public, but to help us judges to serve the public to the best of our ability. So congratulations, Pavan. I'm really proud of you, and I'm really excited to be working with somebody that I consider a very good friend.
Echo the sentiments. Thank you. Congratulations, Pavan. Thanks for everyone for coming to visit our humble courthouse. As you may notice, our main elevator is down. We got a call into the Smithsonian for a replacement part. But I think logically we lost quite a bit of weight if the commissioners want to renegotiate the health insurance. Anyways, from my experience, I know that this county is blessed to actually have the best clerk's office in the whole state of Ohio. And just like an actor needs to have a good stage crew, right? Just found out what your major was as a hater. There are certain things judges are really good at doing, thinking about the higher concepts of the law and justice, but we wouldn't be able to balance a ledger and save our lives. We can't return the papers back in the right order and save our lives. And it's important, and that office runs so well, and it keeps the records for over 100 years. It keeps about $3 million in the accounts on a given day. It's a lot to be responsible for, and it's a great staff. And your success makes us and our jobs that much easier. So thank you so much for your partner.
First, I'd like to apologize to everyone for the sound of my gravelly voice. I'm losing my voice, and there's a long list of people who are quite happy. So first of all, thank you to Pavan and his team for inviting me here today. It is truly an honor. As I look across this courtroom, I am struck by the diversity of people and the diversity of responsibilities and positions those people hold. It is a testament to our clerk of courts that all of us have gathered here today. My personal belief is that there is strength and unity in diversity. When we treat each other with respect, dignity, and value. Our clerk, Pavan, has always shown me that respect and value, and for that I am personally very grateful. Thank you. And congratulations on your ceremony.
Thank you. My name is Kurt Kissinger. I'm the district court judge. Personally, and on behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank you, Pavan, for inviting us, and congratulations. We really look forward to our continued partnership. So I really do consider it to be a partnership. So unlike a lot of you, I didn't have the opportunity to know Pavan before he took office. I actually met Pavan in so I said, wait a minute, didn't he run against you like a few years ago? And she goes, yeah, but he's a really nice guy, and I really like him. So, that probably says a lot for Judge Lisa Allen, though, since we're not on her today. It says a lot about Pavan. And I've seen those same things as well, and I really appreciate that experience. And the one thing that me with Pavan, I think we really share, some of my colleagues might concur that we oftentimes in the judicial system kind of come under attack. We have a loss of confidence amongst our society of what we're doing here in the justice system. And we all know we are really trying to do our best. And I teach an introduction to criminal justice class at UC's Blue Edge campus. And talking to the young students and their concerns, and more often than not, when the jury questionnaires that we see, I'm sure my colleagues see this as well. One of the questions, the sites that they put on this, I think should be changed, says, would you be a good juror? Okay? And the questions, the answers always kind of amaze me. But I've had several people of late say, I think the criminal justice system is broken. I think the judicial system needs to be scrapped and start over again. Well, okay. But we see that. And so I really think that in my interactions with Pavan, that we really share that concern about the confidence people have in the justice system. And I know the things that you're doing and trying to do with things like helping notify litigants of their court dates, so they don't forget the court dates through text messaging. The help desk, in giving individuals who would not have the opportunity to have legal representation to have that representation is a huge help, and I think only further instills the confidence we have in the system. Things that Pavan is trying to do regarding making more documents accessible through the clerk's website. Again, all things that are really geared toward building that confidence in our judicial system. So, again, congratulations, and I really look forward to working with you in the future. Congratulations.
In today's spirit of service and bipartisanship, we are honored to have a longtime friend of Clerk Parikh's, Ohio Secretary of State, Franklin Rose, is here today to personally deliver remarks and to present the Governor's Commission.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, and especially to Pavan's family. Congratulations. You all have provided for this community an outstanding public servant, and thank you for doing that. When Pavan asked me to do this, I started thinking about what I would share. And of course, I'm here to present the Governor's commission. But before I do that, I'm going to talk about how he got another commission, a commission to serve as a U.S. Army officer. You see, we were serving together in the Ohio Senate. He as the chief legal counsel for the Senate Democrats, and myself as a relatively new state senator from the Acharya area. I'm a Republican, he's a Democrat, come from different ends of the state. But I had served in the armed forces for a number of years before running for the state Senate. I continue to serve as a reservist, now as a sergeant first class in the Army. And I remember one day on the Senate floor, he approached me. He came up to me, and we often would interact on the Senate floor and that kind of thing, but he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I'm thinking about joining the Army." I said, "Wow, that's awesome, Pavan. Let's talk about it." He said, "Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about it because, in my family, the focus was always on higher education, and I don't have a lot of friends or family members that had gone on to military service, so I'd like to talk to somebody who had served in the armed forces." So we went and grabbed a beer after the Senate session, and this was actually an unfortunate lesson for me in the nature of how partisan politics have become. It wasn't 20 minutes that Pavan and I walked into a bar over on Capitol Square near the State House to grab a beer and talk about joining the Army that I started getting text messages. "Hey, what are you doing hanging out with the Democrats?" Folks, that's not how statesmen and women should be operating. That's not how it should work. There are so many more things that unite us than the things that divide us. And of course, we're going to have differences of opinion on things. But the ability to work together to solve problems is so crucial. And of course, we weren't there to talk about partisan politics whatsoever. I was there as someone who had served for many years in the armed forces and talked to somebody who was interested in serving in the armed forces. I was so proud when Pavan took on that challenge to become a commissioned officer in the United States Army and become a JAG officer. Now he serves as Major Pavan Parikh in the United States Army, and that's something that this community can be proud of. I want to thank you all again for electing this fine man. I know that he's going to make you all proud and continue to do great work, and especially to his wonderful family. Public service is such a sacrifice and a commitment, and thank you all for allowing him to do that. And now this time, it's my pleasure to present Pavan with his second commission, this one from the governor of the state of Ohio. Thanks, everyone. So to all whom these presents shall come greeting. Know ye that whereas Pavan Parikh of Hamilton County has been duly elected to the position of Clerk of the Court of Common Pleas, therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in the governor by the Constitution and pursuance of provision of the statutes, I do hereby commission him, the said Pavan V. Parikh, to be Clerk of the Court of Common Pleas, authorizing and empowering him to execute and discharge all and singular the duties appertaining to said office, and to enjoy all the privileges and immunities thereof. In testimony whereof, I have hereunto subscribed my name and caused the great seal of the state of Ohio to be affixed at Columbus this 15th day of December in the year of our Lord 2022. Signed, Mike DeWine, Governor, and Frank LaRose, Ohio Secretary of State.
Now is the time for the oath of office. Joining us to administer the oath is the Honorable Nadine Allen, retired judge of the Hamilton County Court of Common Pleas. Many of us at the courthouse first got to know Clerk Parikh in 2011 when he joined Judge Allen's staff. That experience was his first introduction to the behind-the-scenes work of the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts. Judge Allen will deliver remarks and then administer Pavan Parikh, our clerk's oath of office. Judge Allen, welcome.
Well, I'm a little emotional today because I think I'm going to stand here and brag a little bit and say that, I am one of Pavan's mothers. Because Pavan grew up down the street from me. And I have known Pavan and his mom and dad, Asha and Pavan, for, I don't know how old you are, but however old that is. It's been 30-something, it's been 40 years or so. And so, of course, everything that you've had to say about Pavan is absolutely true. It's not just good rhetoric and just good conversation. It's so true. And so I'm not going to repeat anything, but I want to thank Fanon for describing some of the things that Clerk of Courts does. But has anyone actually ever seen a file that just holds all of the documents and papers and records and everything that a Clerk of Courts does and has to do every day? It can be as big as a book or as long as a whole office table. And that's the kind of duties that a Clerk of Courts has to have. In fact, I looked up for a definition too from Fanon, and I found a real short one. And it says, the Clerk of Courts is responsible for a court's non-judicial operations. Essentially, everything a court does beyond trying the case. So as soon as the judge calls a witness, everything after that falls into the really devoted hands of our Clerk of Courts. And in fact, if we didn't have them, we could not function at all. So that's how much we appreciate the dedication and service that Pavan and all of our Clerks of Courts have provided. There's something another necessary function that the Clerk of Courts serves. And that is that they are the first people that the public will encounter after the security guard checks out, of course. But when they come into the courtroom, they're coming in not knowing what they're doing, not knowing where they're going, not understanding the process and the procedure. And they have to encounter that clerk from the Clerk of Courts office. And that is going to leave a permanent impression on how people perceive our justice system. And I know what Pavan has endeavored to do, and what I've heard from other people, is that the clerk's office has become better, even better. It always has been. But there are some people that weren't as patient as others. It takes patience to deal with people who don't know what they're doing and have a lot of questions, don't understand. want you to tell them what to do. Well, the clerk's office can do a lot, but they can't give you legal advice. But they can tell you what you need to do. And Pavan has made sure that when the public comes into this courthouse to serve you judges and all of you administrators and elected officials, that they're going to say, this is a good, neutral, fair place to be. That I was treated well. And it all comes from, they say the fish rots from the head down. But also, from the head down is where the good part also is. And if you have an excellent servant, an excellent public servant, then they're going to appreciate our system and have the integrity and the trust in our system. And they won't be telling you, Judge Kissinger, that we got to just start over again and scrap the whole thing. I always say, well, what are you going to replace it with? What are you going to replace it with? So what we have is good men and women in this room from all walks of life. And I see so many long-term friends and workers around here that I've always loved and adored because you made my career so possible. And I love coming to work every day serving you. And I know Pavan does too. Thank you, Dr. Okay, papers are falling. Okay. Is the oath here going to use my memory? Okay. I'll let them every time I can do it. Okay. You want the mom and dad and family? Yes. There must be something in the water out in Evendale. I heard something today. Because I live in Evendale, Pavan was my neighbor, he lives in Evendale. I heard today that a young man on my street has announced that he is running for president of the United States. All right. Right, something in the water.
Right.
Repeat after me. I,
Pavan Parikh,
do solemnly swear
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Ohio, and will
faithfully
and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as the Hamilton County Clerk of Courts, to which I have been elected according to the best of my ability and understanding. Congratulations, you are officially beginning.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone that's in this room. Thank you, anyone who's watching online. I really do appreciate all of you for being here. Whether you are a nonprofit or business leader, appointed or elected official, a member of our incredible staff, there are many other ways you could have chosen to spend this afternoon. So I'm deeply humbled that you chose to spend it here with me and my family today. This absolutely incredible response and attendance is a testament, I believe, to the work that we've already done in my 1 year in office and our vision of what government can and should be. Many of you have supported me over the years because you believe, as I do, that in good government, especially at the local level, is essential in manifesting justice. One of the primary principles of good government that we've heard about many times so far already today, in my estimation, is collaboration and bipartisanship. We seek to get work done, regardless of party, no matter who takes the credit. To honor my commitment to leading our organization in that spirit of bipartisanship, I was honored that the 4 presiding judges of the 4 courts that I served as clerk of courts agreed to join us today. I take immense pride in the strong working relationship that our office shares with each one of them in their courts. Because at the end of the day, we serve each and every person who calls Hamilton County home. So the judges Crouse, Wagner, Kissinger, thank you. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to continuing our work together. When I think about my pathway to the position, it is because of the people who placed their faith and trust in me over the years that I stand before you here today. Many of them were able to join us today as participants in this ceremony. Selfless service and the idea that a whole is greater than the sum of its parts is a core tenet that ties the Fort Scott Crowley and I together, as well as the Marine and soldier. The
commonality we share is prayer, and it's just one of the many reasons I'm proud to be his friend and for him to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today. In that same vein, my friendship with Ohio Secretary of State, Frank Rhodes, goes back over a decade. As you heard about earlier today, as he was someone I consulted with when I was considering joining the Army. And while there's plenty that we may disagree with on a public policy level, and any of you watched Ballot Board over the last couple of years, you probably see those fights in public. On a personal level, we have supported each other. So thank you very much, Secretary Rhodes, and your team for coming down here today to be a part of this ceremony and for speaking today. Wagner Rucker. Phenomenon Rucker. And I have built a friendship over the years. I first met him back in 2004. As he is someone who I also routinely consulted with and confided in, as I've sought to follow his example in public service. So thank you for your service to our community as a judge and for your, I believe it was 8-day tenure. Highly consequential 8-day tenure as Hamilton County Clerk. As the Vice Mayor talked about my relationship, my close relationship with the Kearneys didn't begin in Cincinnati. It actually goes back to my time also at the Ohio Senate in Columbus. And over the years, both Eric and Jan-Michele have welcomed me into their lives as a member of their family. They've taught me both how to lead as a lawyer, as a scholar, as a public figure, and as a parent. So thank you, Vice Mayor, for your kind remarks today. Bishop Hilton, you're almost up. I look forward to hearing your closing remarks as we close out our ceremony today. You recognize, as many have talked about today, the stakes at the courthouse, because you know members of your congregation and community are disproportionately affected by the systems here, and for that I am grateful. Finally, Judge Allen. I'm so honored that Judge Dane Allen is here with us today. Many of you know her as a dedicated jurist and community leader, but as you heard about, she will tell you the pumpkin pie story at some point. I have known her most of my life as my neighbor and friend, and after law school in Nashville. And 10 years ago this September, she swore me in as an officer in the U.S. Army at her kitchen table. So it is an honor that she was able to administer my oath today. Thank you again, Judge Allen, for everything. Hamilton County has a very rich and diverse history. I'm not the first Indian to be elected to county government. That distinction goes to Dr. Smargo. Nor am I the first Indian to be elected to this job. Then you may have heard someone named Mayor after Fairfax, right? But I was thrilled that Kailash was able to deliver the opening prayer today in recognition of our community. Thank you for your prayers and reflection. His presence is important because it represents the growth of our community over the years, but also for more personal reasons. For those of you who don't know my family history, my dad is from India. My mom is actually from South Africa. Most of my grandparents passed when I was very young, and on my mom's side, I never really got to know my grandfather. But today, I think of him. From everything I've discerned over the years, I've learned that this man was a force of nature, a union leader, an educator, and also an Hindu priest. He believed in justice and fought against injustice. He was imprisoned in 1946 for his nonviolent resistance as apartheid took control across South Africa. I don't know if he could have ever dreamed of the day that he could see a descendant hold elective office. He never lived to see the end of apartheid or to see me grow up. But I hope that I can make him proud and all of my ancestors in South Africa and in India proud by not only being a good descendant, but by being a good ancestor for the generations of all of ours to come from our little corner here in Ohio. There simply aren't enough words to adequately express my gratitude for my parents. I'm sure that part of my penance for being the kid I was is that I had my two young boys of my own. But my parents worked so hard for so long to ensure that I had every opportunity to grow and succeed. They sacrificed more than I will ever know to make sure that I was raised in an environment where I was cared for and loved. My father has been in Cincinnati since 1964, and I cannot fathom the change he has seen in this town over the years. When I first told my parents I was thinking about pursuing a career in public life and possibly elective service, they were naturally very cautious. They knew it would be an uphill battle, and that I would need to be prepared to suffer disappointment along the way. And as I can appreciate now as a parent, no parent wants that for any of their children. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything you sacrificed for us to have this amazing life in this country, in this city, and for always pushing me to excel.
unbelievable wife. I know you thought you had an idea about what you signed up for. But oh man, am I sorry for underselling that. Being the spouse of a public official is hard. There are too many nights away, attending events, running around the county. Doing it when you're in a successful position is, in your own right, is even worse. And doing it while you are a single mom is damn near impossible. But you do it every day with the grace that I can only hope to emulate. We work hard as a team to keep this household running. And while I know that scheduling our lives probably won't get any easier, especially as the boys start having plans of their own, I promise to remember every day that you three are my priority. I could not have done any of this without your love and support. I can only hope that I make you and the boys proud. When I first took office a little over a year ago, I wasn't sure what to expect. Having previously worked in this building, I thought I knew all that the clerk reports did. I had no idea. I had no idea about the size and scope of our operation. I had no idea about the complexity of our functions, from all the different courts, to our bailiff division, many of them are actually right out the door, to our on-title division. I had no idea what it took to ensure that the 200 people who work on our team are being taken care of, treated with dignity and value. As I began to learn this job, another wave of COVID hit, courthouse and jury trials were suspended. We had to secure PPE for our staff, we hosted a vaccination clinic. I learned very quickly that my job was to take care of my staff and get things done. So we did. It's why I set out the lofty goal to meet with every member of our team for 30 minutes this last year, to learn about them, to have them learn about me, to give them my vision and expectations, and to begin to get work done. We immediately worked to use technology to make the process of obtaining a civil protection order more efficient. You can now complete the paperwork on your cell phone before even coming into court. And we did that by collaborating with magistrates Kearney and Verita. We looked for solutions to streamline processing warrants for law enforcement. And we continue to attend monthly Chiefs of Police Association meetings to solicit feedback and cultivate new ideas. We sought innovations to reduce language barriers by working with Women Helping Women and the YWCA to provide more expansive resources in our office. We worked to address evictions in our community with United Way of Greater Cincinnati, Green Light Fund, Cincinnati Metropolitan Housing Authority, Homestar, and others to launch the Renew Collaborative. We teamed up with legal aid to bring focus on consumer protection issues related to auto titles, and we routinely work with the sheriff's office to expose potential scams. And we will continue to work to serve the needs of our community this year and many more to come. Our goal is simple: to be the gold standard across our state and across our country for what a clerk's office and a courthouse can be. Every action we take is to modernize our operations to improve transparency, increase accessibility, and foster innovation. We seek to manifest justice through systemic change. As I said at the beginning, good government comes through collaboration. And I cannot tell you how much it means to our entire team to have all of your support. As we move through the rest of this term and beyond, I look forward to each of you reaching out anytime you think there is something we can do better together to help serve the people of Hampton County. Thank you, Judge Lubbers, for letting us use your courtroom today. Thank you to our incredible staff. Special shout outs to Lori, Jamie, and Jason for really doing the heavy lift to get today together. But to all of you, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your enduring confidence. We won't let you down. Bishop Milton would now like to close the prayer led by Bishop Fanon.
Good afternoon, everyone. To all of our judges, all of our elected officials, to all of you here today. Congratulations, Papa. Congratulations. I'm truly honored to be a part of this great historical event. And I can thank you that as you reached out to me, and as you reached out to the community, you did not come just presenting your name, but you came presenting who you are, your character, your concern, your diligence, And even by how this occasion looks today, I feel like we can trust that you are a person who's determined to look beyond culture, race, background. You're determined that we will be one nation under God, indivisible, declaring liberty and justice for all. Thank you, sir. And again, congratulations. May we pray. O Lord, our God, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. We humbly come and we thank you today for allowing us to live in a nation whereby we may acknowledge you in all of our ways, whereby we may thank you for being our leader, our guider, keeper, protector, and sustainer. We thank you for all good and perfect gifts come from you. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this occasion. We thank you for Pavan and this beautiful family. Keep them, cover them, strengthen them. And oh God, please know that we shall always look to you as our protector and our healer. Direct our paths in everything that we do, that all of your people may recognize this house as one that's determined to be equal and fair to all. And now to him who is able to lift us and keep us and sustain us in all of our ways, we do give you honor, glory, and praise now and forever. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless you.
Well, thank you all so much for attending. When there's nothing left to say, the only thing left is no. Everyone is invited to join the celebration for our Clerk Parikh in Pins, 1124 Main Street. 1124 Main Street, beginning at 4 o'clock. Yeah, just enough time to fellowship for a while and get out of here. Everybody go in peace. Thanks so much.